Greetings, soul beings. It's Shelly Bean. I'm the Empowered Oracle. I hope you guys are wonderful wherever you are in the world. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So guys, I'm here giving you all your end of the year messages. And I had a few downloads actually before I decided to prep for the readings for each sign. I was contemplating doing a collective message, but I changed my mind because my collective message videos don't get that many views. So I figured I'm going to be giving the same message to each zodiac sign. So I figured that might be a better route. So that's what I'm doing. So I hope you guys have had a wonderful holiday, Thanksgiving, or whatever it is that you celebrate this time of the year. So this is going to be for Sagittarius Collective. We are in Sag season. So I want to first shout out my sister whose birthday is today. Big love and shout out to my sister. Happy solar return. I love you much. And another year around the sun. So with that being said, guys, let's get your messages, Sagittarius, and see what messages that you need to know by the end of this year. So I guess you can say this is a December 2025 message. Yep. So let's start with that. If you guys need a personal reading from me, as always, my information is below in the description area. And each message that I channel and or download it won't be for every Sagittarius, but more than likely, if you have clicked on to my channel, there is a message for you. All right, so keep that in mind. Holy Divine Spirit, what message do you have for Sagittarius Collective? What's the first oracle message you have for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements as we go into the end of the year 2025? Okay, we have potential. We have potential here. Okay, so with this potential card coming out here, and as you can see, I hope you guys can see because I know my lighting is a little bit funny. And the sun glare and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. But if you can see it, there's a mountain. And at the top of the mountain, there's a lot of smoke coming up from the mountain. This potential, what I'm getting actually from this is because also there's like a lot of dark blue in this card. For me, that also signifies like creativity and communication. So this could be relevant, Sagittarius, to your expression, your creative expression. And your creative expression could be verbal, with your throat chakra. You're speaking, you're talking, you're communicating. And it also could be related to what you need to do or what you can do creatively, whether it's through the arts, whether it's through thinking of new inventions, new things. Whatever needs to be tapped in your creative side. So your creative side, I feel, is yearning to do something new, where there's a lot of potential for a lot of success and growth. But I do want to specifically give you the actual oracle message for potential here. Okay. So if you guys want to fast forward, of course, please do so. But I am going to read the oracle messages for the cards that I get in this particular deck. So it does say it says this card appears when you are ready to activate your potential and step into your strength. This is the time to activate those gifts that you have had on the back burner in your life. You have incredible untapped potential. This is the time to allow it to flow. An inner wellspring of power is emerging. You have a profound spiritual power that is deep within you. Do not doubt your great authority and capabilities. A dormant volcano might indicate that you have uncomfortable emotions that you are repressing or keeping inside, thus creating emotional stress and inner pressure. It can also mean that you are on the verge of a great expansion of energy and life force. That sounds so, especially the word expansion, because as a Sagittarius, you guys are the epitome of expansion, growth, and experimenting and wanting to try new things and wanting to do new things. So with this potential here, by the end of this year, Divine Spirit is really encouraging you to tap more into that side of yourself, and even to explore and acknowledge whatever emotions that you guys could be repressing or not dealing with. Those emotions need to be acknowledged and addressed. And there's no when you decide to do that, Sagittarius, keep in mind, you don't have to rush through it, but you are definitely being encouraged by Divine Source to tap into some of those, if not all of those uncomfortable emotions that you are or could be repressing. Because it also falls into the downloads that I was getting, and this is on a collective level, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So the next card you have, or the next deck, is the Cancerian Oracle deck, which is one of my favorite decks, of course, because I'm a Cancer, but I do have a Sagittarius moon, and I have a couple of other Sagittarius placements. So a lot of times I still do very much resonate with my Sagittarius brothers and sisters, okay? But let's see what the Cancerian Oracle deck, what other messages Divine Source has for you as we approach the end of 2025. Holy Divine Spirit, what other messages do you have for Sagittarius Collective as we approach the end of 2025? Please and thank you. Please give me 3 messages for Sagittarius Collective. What's the second message? Okay. We have, we have learn and teach, new hobby, do your research and consult a professional. So you are being encouraged to expand, to grow, to learn. This is very much correlates with this potential card that you have that came out, that really speaks to tapping in, not only to your emotions that you are repressing or not dealing with, but also from a creative expression side. Again, creative expression can look very different for everybody, and it is different for everyone. It could be verbal expression. It can be through arts. It can be through painting. It can be through singing. It can be through it could be through rap. It could be through content creation. It can be through anything. Okay, whatever your creative expression is, how it is that you want to express yourself creatively. All right. Then we have happy success. And we have nostalgia. Learn from the past. Be here now. Okay. I like these cards for you because you do have, again, happy success. So there's a lot of happiness and success with whatever it is that you are trying to pursue or will be pursuing by the end of this year, going into the new year, Sagittarius. And nostalgia. Learn from the past and be here now. So it's great to reflect. It's always a good thing to reflect. And it's even better to learn from the past, what lessons you've learned and things like that. But also, it's more important to be in the present. So while you might be reflecting or being in a very nostalgic energy, especially since we've just, I think Mercury went direct either today or tomorrow. But either way, we are still in like the post Mercury retrograde shadow energy. So some of you guys might have been in that bit of nostalgia or heavy nostalgia energy the past 21 days. But Divine Spirit is definitely encouraging you guys to, it's great to look back on the past and more so even learn from the past, but don't allow the past to take over your energy so much. Don't stay in the past, okay? It's very important for all of us to really be focused on the here and the now and the present. A lot of times people will stay too much in the past, or they can stay too much in the future and not enough in the present. And that's where a lot of times it trips us up as a collective, when we're too much looking back and we're too much looking forward. So make sure that you are being intentional about being in the present, okay? And let's get a money message for you guys. It may be a mantra that you guys need to write down and speak out loud into the universe. You might be able to, you can burn and release it if you want. Or if you can't burn it, you can release it through water, or through burying it, or through you can release it that way. Well, that's one of the ways you can affirm it and release. So, Holy Divine Spirit, what financial messages do you have for Sagittarius Collective as we approach the end of 2025? Please and thank you. Can I have a second message? What's the second message? All right. Okay. Yep. So it is money mantras that you have. Okay. So you have two messages. The first money mantra is, my pot is, I think it's supposed to be, I don't know if it's supposed to be bountiful, but anyway, it says, my pot is bounteous and full of wealth. My pot is bounteous and full of wealth. So that would be something that you would write down and affirm and burn and release, or release into water, or release into, or bury it. However it is that you feel comfortable releasing, but definitely make sure that you write it down and speak it out loud into the universe. Okay, so that's your mantra for you. And then it says, just say no to extreme financial decisions. So regarding your money, Sagittarius, it is important that you are, I'm hearing, spending wisely as we get towards the end of the year. There could be some unexpected bills or unexpected money, some unexpected things that may require more money than you may have expected to have to dish out. Okay, so I'm getting that energy for some of you guys. So that's why it's definitely encouraging you guys to just say no to extreme financial decisions. All right. Okay. So Let's talk about my downloads. Real quick, I'll make this as quick as possible, but one of the downloads that I was getting is, again, I was going to make this a collective message, but each individual sign needs to hear this apparently. So I'm going to do it that way. There are a lot of blockages that the collective has, and I'm going to find out what blockages they are through this deck. It talks about singles and relationships, and whether or not you're in a relationship or not. This deck focuses on any type of blockages that you currently have that are keeping you stuck, that are blocking your blessings from coming in, that are keeping you stagnant. Okay, but let me first go ahead and get your messages for that. And then I'll get through my downloads about blockages. So, Holy Divine Spirit, what blockage messages do you have for Sagittarius Collective at this time, Holy Spirit? Please and thank you. What are Sagittarius Collective's blockages at this time? It's a second blockage? Is there a second blockage? Is there a third blockage? Okay. All right. So, come through, Divine Spirit, come through. Okay, so the first card that came out was not talking. It says you aren't communicating your needs clearly. You need to discuss how you feel. Now, with this, I'm sorry. Here's the card. So with this potential card, Sagittarius, that came out, and one of the things that I said in the beginning was there was a lot of blue here in this picture that for me, I felt an energy of creative expression and communication. And I think I said the throat chakra, which is your fifth chakra, which talks about, communicating and creative expression. And yes, it's being confirmed by this not talking card, which is a blockage. So a blockage for you, for some of you guys, Sagittarius, is that you're not communicating how you really feel about something. You're not expressing yourself. So that's a blockage that some of you guys are currently dealing with at this time. All right. And then it says here, fear of cheating. Not everyone cheats. You need to open your heart and trust your partner. So there could be a lack of expression or communication that some of you guys may have regarding your fears of cheating or trust issues. So for some of you guys that are currently in a relationship or connected to someone, that could be something that you guys have been on your mind. It's been on your mind, but you haven't been talking to your partner about this. But it's something that you guys have been dealing with on an emotional level. And again, with this potential card, it also talked about certain emotions that some of you guys could be suppressing or not dealing with. So some of these could be related to trust issues in a relationship, or just, the fear of infidelity, the fear of cheating, something that you guys are not expressing or talking about that needs to be talked about. All right. And then it says no good ones. There is someone out there for you. Don't let this false belief make you miss out. Okay, so some of you guys may have this belief that there are no good partners out there. No matter what your gender is, you may just have this mindset in feeling like there are no decent people out here to connect with. And a lot of it does come from past experiences, past relationships, past hurts, past traumas, which is very relatable and very understandable. But that is something that's one of the many things that keeps us blocked. And I say us because I can relate myself, but a lot of us on a human level on this earth can relate to that. And that is one of the biggest things that keeps us blocked from having that pure, true, genuine connection with someone. So those are the blockages that you guys currently have for some of you all. So with that being said, some of the downloads that I had before I even started doing the reading, Sag, was that from Divine Source, as we go into 2026 is the beginning of the soft era. I say soft era because soft era means, what I mean by soft era is, it's the beginning of a new cycle of a softer life. Softer life meaning not too many struggles. It won't be as hard as the first half of your life or wherever you are in your timeline. This new cycle welcomes an easier road, an easier travel, an easier journey, a smoother journey. Okay. It also talks about a new cycle of more happiness, more joy, definitely more being in your divine power, and just a new cycle of a new version of yourself. Now, it's not to say that there still won't be certain trials and tribulations or certain challenges and obstacles, but for a lot of the collective, there is whatever challenges and obstacles you have as you move forward in this new cycle, you are and will be better prepared to handle if you clear these blockages, if you work on clearing these blockages. So from Divine Source, a lot of these blockages need to be cleared by the end of this year, or you have to be working on clearing these blockages by the end of this year. It has to be a work already in progress in terms of clearing these blockages. If you want to experience a new cycle of the softer life, an easier travel, an easier journey, an easier experience, a smoother experience. You know, if you want 2026 to start off smooth, you want to set that tone for 2026. You want to set the tone of 2026 to be easier, smoother, more joy, better health, happier, more fulfilling. Setting that tone for 2026 is very important. And the way to do that is to clear some of these blockages that you are now aware of, and to clear these blockages, or at least start the process of clearing these blockages by the end of this year. If not, 2026 will come in with a bang, and not in a good way. Okay. 2026 is going to be a lot about saying what you mean and meaning what you say, which for a lot of you guys, the Sagittarians, that typically is a very natural quality that you guys have. Okay. But as I said, some of you guys could be dealing with a lack of expression, a lack of communication these days. So that is definitely going to be one of the biggest themes for 2026. And saying what you mean and meaning what you say, even if it means being vulnerable and being naked. Okay. So when I say being vulnerable and being naked, it means, even if that means having to bare your soul or really bare the raw version of yourself, which is like the naked version of yourself, not literally, but figuratively speaking, bearing the naked part of yourself, which I want to express. I've said it before, vulnerability and being vulnerable is not a weakness. I repeat, being vulnerable and vulnerability is not a weakness. Society has conditioned us to think and believe that being vulnerable is a weakness. That is wrong. And I stand 10 toes down on that. Okay. So I just want to just convey that and emphasize that to you guys. And also for 2026, when you see familiar red flags from situations and people, Divine Sources is encouraging everyone to move away as soon as you see the red flags from a situation or from a person. It's not recommended or encouraged to wait or prolong walking away to see if the situation or the person changes. Your spirit and your soul already knows. And if you don't walk away when you see the red flag or flags for what it is, just know that you've chosen to participate in your own misery and the consequences that come with it, which it is free will. It's not a punishment, anything, but it is a heads up that a lot of times we choose and make certain decisions where we are choosing to participate in our own suffering, in our own misery. But you have the free will to do that. And you have the free will to learn another lesson. So this could be knowing a familiar red flag means that it's something that you've already been through before. And have you learned the lesson from the last time? However, if you choose to entertain or engage in a situation where you see the red flags and you choose to engage and entertain in that situation, that is your free will. It is your free will to learn the lesson how many times you decide that you want to learn the lesson. That is your free will. Okay. And a lot of times we are tested by Divine Source. You know, the Most High will send people and situations to our life just to see how we're going to respond or how, what we're going to do. It's almost like a pop quiz, where the teacher, you've learned a certain lesson or you've been learning certain things over a certain period of time. And unexpectedly, you have like a pop quiz. I don't even know if kids even have pop quizzes these days. I don't know. But I'm just saying, a pop quiz or a test to see how much you've learned, where you are in your journey of learning. Okay. And a lot of times we get the same lessons, maybe different people, because there's still some healing and there's still some learning that we have to do with that. So it's really just to see where we are in our healing process and in our learning process. And sometimes we find out through those people and situations, yeah, I still have some more healing to do in this area of my life. Yep, I got to review this. I have to reassess. I have to do a little bit more self-reflecting. And that's okay, because we all go through it. And it's part of growing and expanding. Okay. So just wanted to put that out there and say that you guys have been given a heads up. And with that being said, actually, let me do this. Let me get a declare and decree message for you guys. So this is another message regarding energies that you need to clear for yourself in your life, and also from your ancestral lineage and bloodline. So these are also messages that you can write down and speak out loud and burn and release, or however it is that you want to release it. But definitely make sure you are speaking these words and affirmations out loud. Holy Divine Spirit, what declare and decree message do we have for Sagittarius? As we move through the end of this year. Okay. So we have 2 that came out. All right. It says, all self-limiting beliefs are cleared from my energy in spirit and in flesh. So you can write this down. I declare and decree all self-limiting beliefs are cleared from my energy in spirit and in flesh. Okay. That's another energy or another blockage that needs to be cleared. And we also have, I declare and decree all external blockages created by myself and others are now cleared from my energy in spirit and in flesh. All right. So, do I need a tarot message? Let's get one tarot message as a closing. Holy Divine Spirit, please give me one tarot message for Sagittarius Collective as we close out. What is the one tarot message that you have for Sagittarius Collective at this time? Please and thank you. Okay, that makes sense. We have Queen of Cups in the reverse. All right. It talks about emotional imbalance. And I've already talked about some of the emotions that some of you guys could be repressing, ignoring, not dealing with. So with the Queen of Cups in the reverse, it talks about, maybe also a bit of sadness somewhere, but there's an imbalance in the emotions, not addressing the emotions, not allowing your emotions to come to the surface, not allowing thank you, Spirit, not allowing yourself to feel. So with that being said, guys, this is just more of a confirmation of what I've already said with the Queen of Cups being in the reverse, because as some of you guys know, if you don't know, the Queen of Cups is a water sign. It represents emotions. It's a water sign. Water signs represent emotions, feeling deep, feelings, intuition, emotions, and really going within. So these are some of the things that Sagittarius Divine Source is asking you to pay attention to and to work on as we are closing out the end of this year. Again, if you are wanting to go into 2026, setting the tone for 2026 and setting the tone for a new cycle of your life that's softer, a little easier, smoother, happier, more fulfilling. These are some of the things that you're being encouraged by Divine Source to start working on for your greatest and highest good. So guys, these are your messages, Sagittarius. I hope that you found them helpful as always. Again, I think I said, yeah, if you need any personal reading from me, my information is below in the description area. And until the next upload, everyone, be well and be at peace. Ashe.